A piercing screech tore through the air, jolting everyone awake. They scrambled back, heart pounding, trying to piece together where they were and how they got there. The sun blazed overhead, a relentless spotlight, and the salty wind bit at their exposed skin. The only familiar thing was the sand beneath their feet, soft, yielding to their touch. But beyond the beach, the island stretched before them, wild, untamed, uncharted. Towering cliffs loomed over dense, dark jungles. The distant crash of waves was punctuated by the haunting calls of unknown creatures. Panic threatened to overwhelm them, but a primal instinct took over. They had to survive. Stranded on a deserted island, they were complete strangers. There was Maya, a doctor who seemed to have an answer for everything. Daniel, a survivalist whose calloused hands and sun-weathered face spoke of years spent in the wilderness. Leah, a scientist whose eyes, sharp and inquisitive, missed nothing. And Omar, a man of few words, an engineer by the looks of him whose fingers itched to fix things that were broken. Together they surveyed their surroundings, searching for any sign of life, any clue to their predicament. Days bled into weeks. They gathered supplies washed ashore, a rusted toolbox, coconuts, tough, fibrous plants and driftwood, shelter, food, water. They managed. They learned to hunt, fish, forage. They built a fire, its dancing flames a beacon against the encroaching darkness. They told stories, sharing snippets of their past lives, piecing together the fragments of their memories. Tensions flared, alliances formed, and a strange camaraderie grew between them. The island was not just wild and beautiful, it was eerie, almost menacing. Strange phenomena kept them on edge. Glowing plants that pulsed at night, weather patterns that defied explanation, and distant lights flickering over the treetops as if the island itself were alive. One night, Leah, unable to sleep, wandered to the beach. The moon cast an ethereal glow over the waves, and the soft sand cradled her feet. That's when she noticed patterns in the glowing plants. At first, she thought she was imagining things, but as the night deepened and the patterns continued, she knew she wasn't. They were almost deliberate, arranged in geometrical formations that shifted and changed with an almost hypnotic rhythm. "It's like they're communicating," she whispered, more to herself than anyone else. The others laughed nervously, but a strange unease settled over them all. The next day, armed with newfound determination, they ventured deeper into the island's embrace. The jungle was a symphony of sounds, birds, insects, the rustle of unseen creatures. The humid air hung heavy, and gnarled vines snaked around ancient trees. The ruins were massive, partially hidden by the encroaching jungle. Strange symbols adorned the stones, symbols none of them recognized. A profound sense of being watched pressed down on them, intangible, yet inescapable. The island was not just wild, it was orchestrated, controlled. As they continued to explore, they began noticing subtle changes in themselves. Their senses seemed to sharpen. Some could see farther into the jungle, others could hear distant sounds like muffled voices or the snap of a twig underfoot. Daniel, ever the pragmatist, joked one day, "I think the island's making us better. It's like we're evolving." Finally, on a misty morning, they reached a hidden plateau. The view was breathtaking. The ocean stretched endlessly before them, but floating above them, invisible to casual eyes, were enormous structures. They were mechanical, yet organic, impossibly advanced, humming with an energy that defied comprehension. And then a voice, not spoken aloud, but transmitted directly into their minds. "You have adapted. You have learned. Your behaviors are valuable to us. You are subjects of the study. This island was designed to observe you, to understand human resilience and cooperation." Maya staggered back, her hand flying to her mouth. "What? What are you saying?" The voice seemed to resonate from everywhere and nowhere. "This is an experiment. You are not stranded. You are being monitored. All your actions, all your choices have been recorded. They sank to the ground, stunned into silence. Weeks of struggle, fear, bonding, and growth had all been under the watchful eyes of extraterrestrial beings studying them like ants in a terrarium. The truth, far from being liberating, felt like a punch to the gut. Yet amidst the shock, a strange calm settled over them. Daniel whispered, his voice hoarse, "So we survived, but for what? Their study?" Leah met his gaze, her eyes resolute. "Does it matter? We learned how to survive. We learned to trust each other. Even if it was for their experiment, we're stronger now." Above them, the alien structures shimmered, as if acknowledging her words. In the grand scheme of the universe, their struggles on that tiny island meant little. But in the face of the unknown, humanity had shown its true colors, its capacity to endure, to adapt, to thrive. The island, once a prison, had become a mirror, reflecting the resilience and ingenuity of those who refused to be victims. And somewhere, in the vastness of space, beings watched and perhaps learned as much from humanity as humanity had learned from the island.